Very good. Hi, Bill.
Hello.
Hi. Didn't expect you there. So you don't have the documentation for tonight's meeting.
I have the agenda and I have the backup material that Chris sent me,
Very good. Okay.
which
Right.
was basically membership of different boards and commissions, I guess, that we're going to talk about.
Very good. Thanks.
Evening, Roger.
Hey, how we doing, Bill?
Okay, Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you too.
Let's get these people in the picture. There we go.
Hi, Chris.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Just have the agenda.
You.
Okay, looks like we don't have anybody else. All right, call to order at 7:04. Members present, all members are present. And Chris, hear from public. Anything from the public? That's a no. And selectmen's briefing. I'll be brief tonight. I'm a little under the weather. Senior Center, Monica Gallegos, our new Senior Center Director and Agent for the Elderly, started work today, January 6th. She was warmly received by the people who were in the Senior Center at the time, and they've been very, very nice to her. The Commission on Aging gave her a plant and a card, and I hear they have some other things going on. And one of the things we're planning to do is have a meet and greet in February, inviting the public in to meet her. Ashford School roof reimbursement. The State Department of Administrative Services, DAS, has qualified $2,801,822.61 of the school's first submission of financials for reimbursement consideration. More details to follow. Shared Animal Control Services, while Ashford, Willington, Stafford, Tolland, and Mansfield, and a CROG representative are still discussing funding, building, and sharing a new animal facility that will meet the state's January 1, 2029 requirements, Ashford has identified a grandfather clause that may change our town's approach. And actually, Chris, do you want to mention that? Because it was Chris that did the research and discovered there's a grandfather clause and everything, and has been involved in looking at our current animal control facility.
There are a couple of things we can do, a couple of repairs that have to be made, but otherwise there's no reason why we couldn't pass inspection. We've always passed inspection before. Most of what it needs right now is just a big bleach cleaning.
Needs what?
Bleach cleaning.
Okay.
That's it. I mean, heater and everything else is in good shape.
The
Let's see, we
the
need,
split unit
yep,
that was hit by the power surge a couple of years ago. Nutmeg came in and did what repairs they could. And since then, the mice have gotten into it and just destroyed it. So what we were thinking of calling Nutmeg, have them come look at it see if they can repair it or how much it would cost to replace it. The part of it.
Is that building on our list for Wellington
It's
Pest
fine.
Control to do any regular inspections or,
Do we have pest control coming in there regularly or anything
I'm
like
sorry,
that? Do we have pest control coming in there regularly or not?
pest control in the form of public works.
Just public works? So
Well,
no,
I-
we have not
I-
had them coming in.
yeah, I would suggest maybe we ask them to give us a price and add that to our list, Catherine.
So it's good. What we'll do is we'll identify all the things that need to be done.
Yep.
But definitely pest control on a regular basis is an excellent idea.
You know, as you probably remember, mice have always been an issue in there.
Yeah, we're doing pretty well over it, as far as I know, at the senior center in terms of mice and.
Yeah, it's been a different ballgame since we brought in Wellington Pest Control, and
Good
you
point.
know, regular attention to it is a secret to it. And
Yep.
of course, not leaving food out and all the typical precautions you take, but
Yeah.
mice are a fact of life around here.
Mhm.
Okay. Cattle Rock, discussions were held with Wellington First Selectman Peter Tanaka and Ann Katina, our counsel, concerning deep and EPA liens and applying for a bar grant in July or August that would include cleanup, planning, and marketing activities for the Cattle Rock properties. Chris, do you want to speak to that?
Sure. Ann is under a lot of pressure from EPA to negotiate the $4 million lien. And it was important to meet with she and Peter to bring Peter up to speed as much as we could, explain the situation to him, and basically lay out for him what we have to do to satisfy getting a remediation grant. So that entails having a plan, assessing the property, and going over with him the eligible expenses in the DEP bar grant, which is the basically project planning, property assessment,
Including,
including mapping the wetlands,
right,
having a plan, having a marketing strategy. That could all be covered under the bar grant, which comes open probably in July. They're saying July or August. So it gives us time to ramp up. The other thing we found was when we did the oil tank, I don't know if you remember, when we did the oil tank at the school, our attorney, Al DeVincentis, advised that there is no such thing as a state bid list. But if you want to hire a company that is a party to a state bid, you don't have to go out to bid. So we can go back to BL companies because they have the capability of doing everything that we would need done to be able to submit a remediation grant.
and they're familiar with the properties.
I'm sorry?
And they're familiar with the properties
And
too,
they're
which is,
familiar with the property.
we've worked with them before.
I would suggest for the file, Catherine, that we get a letter from Al verifying that,
We do, we have it in an email.
We have it in an email?
okay, as long as it's in the file.
Yep.
I know per se DAS or OPM don't have a bid list, but usually they have a contractors list that you can refer to.
Right.
If we needed to do that, it's not called a bid list, but it's approved contractors that they have. That they basically it's made up of people that they've approved in the past.
Mhm.
Okay. Anything else on that? Okay, general government budget. Some departments have their budgets, proposed budgets together. And then some are still completing theirs. They expect to complete them this week. I mean, even Chris and I we haven't had enough time to work on the ones we need to work on. So we're doing that this week. And what I'd like to suggest is that we have, I'm going to be doing reviews with the individual departments. I've already started. And I'd like to do a special Board of Selectmen meeting the week of January 20th to review all proposed department budgets in their entirety with the Board of Selectmen. It'd be our initial review as a board. So I'm assuming that's okay.
Yeah, now, did you say January 20th or the week of?
The
Or what
week
did you-
of January 20th. Do you know what your schedule's like that week?
I've got something on the 25th. I'd have to check. I think I'm flexible that week.
Okay, if you two will check, that would be great. In the meantime, Chris, Sherry, Susie, and I have a lot of work to do. So,
Now, we have a meeting scheduled for the 20th already. The Board of
right,
Selectmen.
I'm really looking at this as more of a special meeting. It's focused on going through the department budgets in detail.
Do we want to think about the Saturday before the 20th? The 19th?
Possibly. I kind of like that idea.
Well,
Let
why don't you see where you are and you let us know?
Okay, thank you. I like that idea much better. Then we're not tired at the end of the day. And then the Capital Improvement Projects Committee, they'll meet the week of January 13th to review all proposed capital requests. We only have a few in so far, and I've given them, I was a little late on the dime with that one. So I've got some, but I don't have them all. And I did revamp the form this year to make sure that people understand they need to get 3 estimates from vendors or suppliers for everything that seems pertinent to do that for. And make sure that they've got, if the payments for their proposed project or purchases could extend beyond June 2026 to indicate the anticipated end date of all payments, which I don't think a lot of them do. We start talking about that during the meeting, so now I want them to put it on the form. You know, they have to think it out. So,
Catherine, have you had a chance to sit down with the folks that we spoke to last week or so from the Historical Society about perhaps them putting in a proposal or?
no, but what I did do was in the Ashford Citizen for the month of January, and it went out before the beginning of the month. On the write-up that I did, I said that anyone who wanted to submit a capital request should do it by January 7th. Okay. You know, if it comes in after, that's fine, but the reality was I was really trying to get them by January 7th. And
Yeah.
it was the first time, it was really basically put out to the public. And, you know, they're part of the public, so I didn't reach out to them specifically, and they have not reached out to me. So,
Okay.
and that's all I have for tonight. We have a number of other things to get through, so let me see here. Agenda. Okay, acceptance of the minutes of the regular meeting of December 18th, 2024.
So moved.
Thank you, Bill.
I'll second.
Okay. Any adjustments? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Hear from boards, commissions, committees. We don't have anybody here from a particular one. Old business, Ashford School replacement project status. What is it called? The special window they're putting in. That's not in yet.
Skylight.
The skylight is not in yet. They're really looking for a weekend where they can do that. I believe the materials, it's already been built, so to speak. And they just are making sure they get the resources out there on a weekend to put it in. We did have another leak in the roof that I heard about today, and Imperial's coming out tomorrow to take care of it. They've been pretty quick at responding to them. It's just a shame that, you know, leaks keep cropping up here and there. Okay. The town building use schedule, I just haven't had time to look at, period. The update on the Cadle Rock EPA lien status, we've already kind of given that update as part of talking about meeting with Peter. And we don't have anything to add to that, right, Chris?
Right.
No, it's actually, it was, you know, good to have the meetings that we did. The new business board and commission appointments. We've had a kind of a disappointing period of time where we've got people who have left, given their notice on boards or do not wish to be extended. Let's see where we stand. Economic development, what you see on the agenda is what there is. Inland Wetlands and Watercourses Commission. We don't have a person to bring on to that board at this time. Agriculture Commission, don't have alternates to bring on.
I
oh, wait,
do have a person, I won't give his name yet, but I do have a person who's relatively new in town, just a couple of years, who's interested in an alternate on that board, so.
Which one?
hopefully
Inland
by our next-
Wetlands?
No,
Inland
on the agriculture.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
what we have is, it looks like the openings that we actually have, there are 2 alternate member seats expiring March 15th, 2026. So we got alternate member of seats available.
And that's what he had expressed an interest in.
That's a great
This
way to
is a
start,
starting
is
point.
being an
Yeah.
alternate member.
Yep.
Zoning Board of Appeals, we don't have anybody for that. Conservation Commission, let me make sure I get this one right. Right here. Separated out. Conservation Commission. Yeah, you've got it in yours, but I have it in mine. That's not right.
I don't, so we have a, fill a vacancy created by the resignation of Steve,
Right,
Rico.
and the person is Pam Summers. Who has been involved with the commission. And she's eager to start.
Did I just see a resignation from her from the library?
She has, that was the other thing I was going to say, I'm gonna
Okay.
get to it.
All right, sorry.
She has resigned from the library board,
Oh, she has?
yes.
When did that happen?
I think she got the formal resignation, Sherry got the formal resignation today.
Oh, okay.
I knew she was going to be resigning, but I think it went through today. So I would like to get her put onto the Conservation Commission in the spot that Steve Mariko had. And then what we have is an opening that can only be filled after that by a unaffiliated or Republican.
I have no problem with Pam. I appreciate her service. She remains on the Board of Finance, correct?
Yes, she does, and she's a hard worker on that board.
Yeah, yeah. I'll make a motion to, and I would ask that maybe she can send in just an email to us. It can do
Okay.
You're
a
cutting.
vacancy on the Conservation
Yeah.
Commission.
Yes, well, she could do that.
Okay. I'll second that.
And I believe that the Conservation Commission had already requested that she be added to the board.
I don't remember seeing that, but that's fine. Should be.
Okay, I'll
good
double
memory
check
there.
because we may actually already have that and I just didn't pass it on. Okay, so you seconded that. Thank you very much, Roger. All in favor?
I,
Aye.
I,
Okay, and that's the only seat we're able to fill. We also have issues with the planning and zoning. We know we are losing a member, and that spot is going to need to be, it's not on this list right now. They're going to have to move an alternate up. That's the requirement on that board. And let's see, Commission on Aging, we have on the agenda to reappoint Carol McCarthy and Jean McCarthy. Neither,
so
of them-
moved.
no,
Oh.
neither of them wish to be reappointed. We heard
Oh,
this
that's a
today.
shame. Sorry to
It
hear
is a
that.
shame. Yeah, because they've provided really great service there.
Oh, I saw on the agenda to reappoint.
I just heard
Well-
today at noon.
Yeah, we should send them a couple of appreciation letters. I know Jean has been on there for many, many years, and Carol's been on there for several years.
Yes.
So,
Appreciation letter. Yep.
that's too bad.
So, with regret. Okay, I'm trying to think if there are any other boards or commissions where we've just got news. I don't think so. Tax refunds.
I have one.
And that is two.
It's for somebody named David Brower,
How do you spell the last name?
Broer. And it's a refund, Connecticut General Statutes 12-129 for $2,971.97.
So moved.
second,
Thank you. All in favor?
I,
Okay, agenda items for upcoming Board of Selectmen meetings. Well, we know we're gonna be reviewing budgets. Oh, also, what I forgot to mention is I have the assessors, a part-time helper in the assessors department. I'm going to be talking with a potential candidate tomorrow. Do you want to sit in on the interviews for these part-time folks? Lynn is also going to be sitting in on the interview. It's my understanding that this is a person who has a really good experience and that Lynn has heard about her. She's not friends with her or anything, but she had heard about her and she would like to interview her. And the person did submit their resume.
As a general rule, I like to sit in or take part in initial interviews. Particularly, I like to see the applications first, but I have no problem with that. I know that Lynn is going to be going into her busy season. If you guys want to expedite that, I just
Thank
don't want to start a precedent that way.
You got it. And yes, because there was kind of a little bit of a rush on this one. Also, during our last meeting, you authorized me to pass the RFP that Lynn had put together over to town council for review. And
Yeah.
if the review was favorable, we could go ahead with it. And yes, it was favorable. He had a couple of minor things change and it was nothing. So she did a very nice job putting it together.
Yeah.
Okay.
One other thing I'd like, if we could put on our next agenda, I'd like to discuss policy at the transfer station.
Well, that sounds like a good one.
And Chris, could I get you've probably given them to us already, but could Roger and I get copies of the last two tonnage reports?
Tenant reports?
tonnage.
Tonnage.
Oh, tonnage reports?
Balls and tonnage.
Yeah, we can do
Yeah.
that.
You can just leave them in my box here. I'll pick them up when I stop in.
Okay.
Are we meeting on the 8th at 9 o'clock?
I can give you,
The 8th?
I can
I
give
was
you
gonna
the date.
mention that because we talked about the that was a meeting with Linda about the tax collector job description. Remember we
You know, I didn't
rescheduled that was-
I did not remember. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The holidays got a hold of me and wouldn't let go.
Well, my suggestion is, knowing Linda's in an awful busy season right now, particularly this month, and I know time is going by. Can we get copies, and Chris may have already given this to us too, but of the existing job descriptions? And
Okay.
maybe we can just tweak them individually and then pass them on to you, Catherine, and if we need a meeting just with our board to get together, or
Yeah,
we can let them take
job descriptions for what?
tax collector.
Or just for tax collector?
I mean, if I remember our initial conversations, what we wanted to do, and we know it's a statutorily mandated position, but as in many of our positions in town, somehow they take on different characters, and there's other jobs that they
Yes.
do that we're not even aware of, to see if we needed to add any of that. I don't want to overcomplicate it or make it over. I've seen a copy of a couple of other job descriptions from other towns that are like 5 pages long, that
Yes,
just way overkill.
yes, understood.
So I guess my suggestion would be, let's not do the 8th. Let's try within our own board to try to work on the job descriptions a little, and then schedule something for the future that's convenient for everybody, particularly Linda.
I agree.
Cool.
Okay. So we'll do that, job description. Okay. Anything else tonight?
I've got 7:30. Hope you feel better,
Oh.
Catherine.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
Linda and I have been fighting something since just after Christmas.
Yeah, we've had some COVID running around too, just so you're aware.
Well, luckily, I don't think it's COVID, but it's more a nuisance cold and cough.
Okay,
Luckily, no
motion.
fevers or whatever, but there's a lot of it going around.
Yeah, someone want to make a motion to adjourn?
You did, and I'll second it.
You got it.
Bill, there's a whole bunch of stuff in your inbox here.
All in favor?
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank
Hi.
you.
Thanks, Chris. I'll stop and get it.
Mhm.
Okay. Return bill.
Good night, folks.
Good night.
Happy New Year.
Same
Happy
to
New Year to
you.
you
Thank
too.
you.